Ian, we got a Patreon.
A Patreon. We do. Patreon.com/CU podcast. You go pay.
If you choose.
If you choose. You go, you apply money to the burn, and then you get a full video podcast. You get writings every week by me, more or less. You get monthly hangouts. What are you making the three figures?
That's the third thing.
Yeah. And you get to be part of these polls.
Any
bonus bits. We get bonus bits.
But bonus. We talked about a weird
bonus bits.
Brain tumor cancer cluster in Jersey based around a high school. And all right, and then we got a poll. In second place, with Port and Retro Gaming Expo returning, how will it be different 3 years later? Only 26%. That almost won last week. Come on. What's going on? Because number one was top Genesis games, according to Ian. I'm gonna have some say, but obviously Ian's a Genesis guy. I didn't grow up with the Genesis. I played it with Billy down the block, and Kevin had one.
Billy,
and I was a PC gamer once I got to my preteens and to my teens. I transferred to PC.
So I love the Genesis. It's a near and dear system to me. I think it's a fantastic system. Had a lot of great games on it. I don't really ever have like I rarely make numbered top lists. I can't do it. Can't pick and choose, what's going to be in first, what's going to be in fourth.
What a great topic then.
But I can, however, pick plenty of games that I like. And generally when we go over these, we see if we agree with if we're going over a listicle,
yes.
We see if we agree with the person who's mentioning it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw out a couple of games, and I'm going to see if you've even played them and what, your thoughts
There's
are.
Also a few articles I can run them down and do that.
Yeah, you can post the articles in the docket, and I'll look.
Okay.
If you want to find an article that you want to go over in the meantime. But let me start with some of my favorite games on the Sega Genesis.
You're gonna Sega shame me.
You ready? I'm gonna start with some of my favorite. I'm not.
Here's a GameSpot article, top 15. I'll do a couple more.
Sonic and Knuckles 3. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, however you want to call it, the full combined game where you put Sonic 3 on Sonic and Knuckles is one of the best platformers of the 16-bit era, a fine game, and a really interesting use of the technology, because I think a lot of people who maybe don't like those games think that when they don't understand exactly what it happens when you connect it with Sonic 3. When you connect Sonic and Knuckles with just Sonic 2, you can just play as Knuckles in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But in Sonic 3 attached to Sonic and Knuckles, it gives you the save game ability in Sonic and Knuckles. It gives you Knuckles in Sonic and 3, and it combines the two games, which were both 6 levels, 6 zones apiece, into one. And
the original DLC from Sega.
Yeah, and changes. Basically,
things never change.
Basically, it is. I mean, it was a big game, but they also put it together quick. They needed something out on the market, and they were like, we can just split this into two.
How quickly did the Knuckles come on after 3? Was it like a few months?
It was really soon after. But like the whole turnaround time for like reading about the development of Sonic 3, like it's a quick development. So that's and money, but that's why they split it.
Because the Knuckles one was a pack in some of the later Genesis Model 2s. They packed that in later on.
That's weird. Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles is not great on its own, because it takes away, if you just play it on its own, it doesn't have the save capability, and it's just very strange.
Okay. I'm gonna look that up while you talk. Okay, so
yeah. Castlevania Bloodlines, depending on the day, is my favorite Castlevania, or my like second or third.
You got the answer when I played it. Have I played Sonic 3? Probably. Don't know anything about it. All right, next.
Okay. So Castlevania 3 Castlevania Bloodlines. Fantastic.
I own that.
Sealed. Cardboard or plastic?
Cardboard. I don't know if that's more common or not.
Alyssa Dragoon is wonderful.
Oh, you know anything about Castlevania Bloodlines?
I did.
It
was great.
I haven't played it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's sealed. It's kind of harder, but yeah, I wouldn't play it. Okay, so Sonic Knuckles came out. The first one was February 94. Sonic Knuckles was October. So you had some months in between. Okay. It was DLC, though.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely DLC.
What's the next one?
Alyssa Dragoon, which you did a video on. But
That's on the list of your list?
Yeah.
What the fuck? We agree.
I love that game.
What? Wait, what? Woo! Holy shit! A Genesis game that we both played and it's on the list.
Yeah, Alyssa Dragoon's great. It's a really weird type of game.
How do you describe it?
It's a platformer that plays like a shooter.
It's a shooter platformer.
Yes, it's a platformer that plays like a shooter.
This is how it works, everyone out there. You have your magic. It auto aims and shoots based upon your charge. So you don't have to aim it. You can still dodge and jump around. So I've never heard there's the only close thing to the game was Fexter. The only game for the game was Fexter, where it shoots things automatically for you, and then like it takes a while to kill it. That's the only game I ever heard of where you do that. Yeah, and there's power ups, and you can get and you have your little creatures that help, and it's adorable. Yeah. It's fucking adorable.
Super unique.
Why did I hire a dominatrix to help in the video? I don't know. Ian thought I was crazy, but it was fun.
Streets of Rage 2. Love the Streets of Rage series. Streets of Rage 2 is probably the ideal of the console of that era beat 'em up for me. I think I don't necessarily, as much as I love Streets of Rage 4, I do love Streets of Rage 2. I like the series. I don't hold it above everything else, but I think for a console-based brawler beat 'em up from that time, I think Streets of Rage 2 is just about perfect.
Played it. Don't remember anything about it. I remember playing 1 a lot at Kevin's.
The music in 1 is fantastic.
So how did 2 improve upon 1? Extra character?
Extra characters, but 1 or 2 adds like special moves that you can do with like the quarter circles moves and stuff like that. And it's
smoother, it's better graphics.
Yeah, it's smoother, and it gave you more attack options. It gave you more attack options as opposed to your basic attacks or the attack that takes life away from you.
Gotcha.
And the levels are really nice, better laid out. Yeah. Gunstar Heroes, fantastic game.
Still haven't played that, unfortunately.
One of Treasure's best. Run and gun, similar, in vein to
Did you make a list, by the way? You didn't share it with me.
Yeah, I did. I whipped it together just now.
Show prep.
Gunstar Heroes, like I said, so it's a great one. Run and gun, one of Treasure's best. Well known for having big multi-segmented bosses that move around in weird ways. It's really impressive at the time. Shining Force 2, a great strategy RPG. I haven't played it in a long, long time, but it was basically... Shining Force is interesting because it has similarities to Fire Emblem. And I think it was clearly trying to ride Fire Emblem's fame in Japan when it came out. But we got Shining Force first. So... for people who, don't really pay attention to it, they might think that Fire Emblem plays a lot like Shining Force. It's the other way around. Shining Force plays a lot like Fire Emblem. Rocket Knight Adventures, the first one. One of my favorite video games of all time.
I haven't played it.
It's fucking weird. It's just weird. You're a possum in a suit of armor.
Not an awesome possum,
with a sword and a rocket pack. It's a difficult game. I've never beaten it on a normal difficulty. I've tried. No, my brother and I did once, but my brother did more of it than I did. But great platformer with some unique mechanics. And then here's one that I'm going to throw in because I kind of shit on this one as a kid. But as I've gotten older, I really like it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist is really good. Really, really good. It looks great. It plays great. You've got the combos when you attack, so it feels more like the arcade game.
Sure.
I did not like it as a kid because it's a shorter game.
This one plays 45 minutes. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's probably
for one player.
Right. Yeah, it's a short game. It's like 5 levels.
It's only 5 levels? Okay.
Yeah, it's like 5 levels. So it's a short game. I didn't like it for that reason as a kid. I rented it. I sat down with my friends. I think it may have had infinite continues. Even if it didn't, on the easier levels, we blew through it.
Is it like a shortened Turtles in Time kind of with some changes?
It's got like a level from Turtles in Time. Yeah. I think it's got like 2 levels from Turtles in Time.
It's got this pirate ship.
I think it's got like 2 levels of its own, and then like a unique Technodrome, I think is how it is. I could be entirely wrong on that.
Pull off Turtles in Time on the Genesis?
I don't think they could.
Same thing? Okay.
I'm not sure that they could. I think it might have just been size.
Less characters on the screen. Or
could have been
5 characters on the screen.
No, there's lots of characters on the screen. It plays great, and going back to it, it plays incredibly smoothly. I think it might have just been cartridge size, or maybe Nintendo and Konami had a deal where this is the only game that's
for this, at least for this. Okay, maybe that's it.
So there is, and that's another reason I didn't like it, because there was like obviously recycled levels, but like removing myself from a kid who wanted Turtles in Time on the
Yes.
Super Nintendo, this is still a very, very good game, and I enjoy it.
It's just not Turtles in Time.
No, but it's extremely well done.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean that would kind of be a rundown.
Okay, and you end up in the Technodrome and little Krang going around. Okay, looks interesting.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a combination of Turtles Time and the original arcade a little bit.
Yeah.
That's one way I would describe it.
And then they threw like a silly little story on top of it.
Because wait, the Turtles in Time have the elevator section in the Technodrome?
I don't remember.
Because that's what this game has. That's like from the original game.
Yeah.
I think all that stuff. So yes, it's like a combination.
Yeah, it's definitely just an amalgamation.
Greatest hits.
Yep.
I'm just going to run down this X Fighters top 20 of all time. I think it's an interesting list because there's a lot of deep cuts here that I haven't heard of some of these games.
Oh, okay, let me look at this one. I know I literally was piecing this together, so I'm sure I missed
So this
some.
has Comic Zone at 20.
It's a neat idea, but I didn't love the game.
Then it has World of
World of
Illusion.
Illusion is so good.
I played that a little bit.
That should have been on my list. World of Illusion is gorgeous.
I think Billy had that. Billy have that or Kevin?
It's one of the most beautiful games I've played on any system.
Herzog Zwei, which is the real-time strategy game.
Yeah,
that
not real
goes for a lot of
familiar
money.
with it.
I always forget if I have it. I don't think Dungeons and Dragons, Warriors of the Eternal Sun. I never heard of that one.
I don't think I've played that one.
Okay, that's looks like a party sort of dungeon crawler overhead RPG based on Gain Ground.
I fucking love Gain Ground, but I have Gain Ground SX or whatever the special edition is for PC Engine. So these days I think of it as a PC Engine game.
I don't think I ever played this, even in the
Gain
arcade.
Ground
I don't think I ever played it.
Gain Ground is weird. So there's little levels and a lot of enemies, and it's just
Is it like Commando?
no. It's people like to say it's like Gauntlet, but it's hard to describe.
A military gauntlet?
They're short, they're short, oftentimes very difficult levels, but you can recruit up to 20 different characters by rescuing them from the levels. So if you go out of your way,
Okay.
you can rescue a character, which essentially is an extra life, and each character has different weapons and firing types.
But you're playing one at a time.
But you're playing one at a time, but
Or
it
two
can
player.
get really strategic.
Is it two-player?
I've only ever played it one player. I don't know if it's two player.
Is that a hidden gem, Ian? I never heard of it.
Gain Ground is awesome.
Echo at 15.
No.
That's too high. Even I know that's kind of too high for that. Shadowrun at
Yes.
14.
Shadowrun is great.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors at 13.
Great game.
Is that top 15 Genesis?
No.
I mean, the library Genesis games, like 600 Genesis games.
The Toe Jam and Earl is funny because they say Toe Jam and Earl, but they put a picture of the sequel on there, so I don't know which one they're talking. Yeah, they're talking about this is the sequel.
Okay.
This is Panic on Funkatron.
Mean Bean Machine. Never played it.
Great game. It's Puya Puya.
Okay. Vector Man.
Vector Man plays well. I don't like the way Vector Man looks. It's really like you can actually see it in this picture. It's like, I don't know if it was because of the graphics they were using. They had to go with a lower color palette, but it looks very. It doesn't like stand out. It's
Sure.
not eye catching.
You got the animation, I guess. Beyond Oasis. I don't think I've ever. Have I seen this game in person? How hard is this to find this dumb game?
It's pretty tough these days. Beyond Oasis is a lot of fun though. It's a Sega's Zelda clone.
I think, did Norm do a video on that? I believe he did. I think he did years back.
Shinobi 3 is great. I prefer Revenge of Shinobi. Streets of Rage 2, thank you. Vindicated. Castlevania Bloodlines, of course. Shining Force 2. Yep.
Wow, there you go, Ian. Did you create this
Monster World
list?
4. Monster World 4 is very good, but I've only become aware of it recently because it was through playing the English
These
language
are a lot of these are like later releases. it looks
Gunstar
like.
Heroes, absolutely. Phantasy Star 4, I never played, but I heard it's a very, very long game.
Wait a minute. Did Monster World 4 come out here or just on the Mega Drive?
What? No, it was only in Japan. That's what I was saying. Like it, I had to wait to play it with an English translation.
Gotcha. Because I never heard of that.
And then Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I love Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It should probably be on my list, but I didn't want all my list to just be. I didn't want my list to just be.
So to most people, do they like 2 better than 3?
I think 2
Is 2 more pure?
It's just easy to grab a cartridge and put it in and play 2 instead of finding 2 versions of the game. Putting them together and playing it.
And you got cute tails.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love tails? So all right,
there we go.
That was interesting.
Yeah, it was fun.
I held my own more than I thought I would.
Yeah, you did all right.
You
You did all right.